And we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire Animation Edition Season 9. This is a very fun and exciting season because so far we've already had 2 millionaires, which is the first time this has ever happened in 9 seasons. But we're still continuing with our contestants to see if maybe we'll get 3 millionaires this season. Who knows? And to test out that theory, we have returning from previous seasons. We have Cali from the Great Disney Movie Ride. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Mark?
I'm doing well. Thanks for coming back on the show.
You're most welcome. Always have a good time.
I do too. It's fun to host these and make them. And for people who didn't catch your previous episodes or don't know who you are, can introduce yourself and what your relationship with
Yes.
animation is.
So my name's Kaylee or Callie. I answer to both. It's spelled weird. I run a blog called The Great Disney Movie Ride. I'm working my way down all of Walt Disney Theatrical Productions filmography, from Snow White down to whatever happens to be coming out by the time I finish this. I'm currently working on a Western from the late 70s called Hot Lead and Cold Feet. I'd say Fox and the Hound is coming up soon, but last time I said that it took me 2 years, so we'll see.
Yeah, you did say that, The Rescuers, yeah.
I did, didn't I? But the most recent movie that I've done that people have actually heard of is Pete's Dragons. So if you are interested, check that out.
Awesome.
Along with the rest of my back catalog.
And I put links to that below. And yeah, I was going to say something and I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, yeah. I don't think I've ever asked you if it's pronounced Cali or Kaylee. I just kind of went with Cali. So what do you
It's
prefer?
okay. It is technically Kaylee, but
Okay.
people call me Callie all the time, especially if you've only ever read it, so I don't care.
Okay. Sounds good. So I feel better. But yeah, so I'll post links to your blog down below. So yeah, Kaylee and we do similar stuff on our blogs in terms of the live action Disney stuff, but she has the hard part of doing it in order. So that's kind of like a self-torture kind of thing right there.
It didn't seem like it was going to be so bad, and then all the movies started being exactly the same.
At least I get to jump around. That's the fun part.
Yeah.
And this is your third time appearing on the show, so thanks for coming back. And the last time we had you was not last season, but season 7, so 2 seasons ago. So it was nice.
I think last season it just didn't work out timing wise.
Yeah, so thanks for coming back. And for everyone else who's new to this is a 12-question multiple choice game show about anything even remotely related to the field of animation. As long as Kaylee keeps getting questions right, she goes higher up the ladder. Once she gets one wrong, that's the end of the game. She leaves with the last number of points from the last safe haven. She has 3 lifelines to help her. 50-50 gets rid of 2 wrong answers. A phone friend if she chooses. She can call someone for help or an Ask the Expert. This season our expert is Mr. Stanford Clark from the Movies Past and Present blog, Animation Fascination podcast. He won the game show last season. I've asked him all the questions this season, and Kaylee can see how he answered, decide if she wants to go with that or not. And if she gets to 32,000 points, she gets the double dip lifeline, their 4th lifeline. So usually we have a round 2 if no one gets to the million. However, we've, like I said, not only have 1 millionaire but 2 millionaires this season, so there is no round 2. So Kaylee is pretty much going to try to get to the million or die trying, whichever comes first. So, Kaylee, are you ready to play Millionaire?
Let's go.
Let's go. I'm going to share my screen. Can you see the Millionaire screen?
I will be in just a second. We've been having some magical enhancements happening tonight. There it is.
Oh boy. I like to think that's what happens at the Disney parks. What do I know? Okay. And this is your ladder of points. Remember the yellow ones for your benchmarks. Once you get to those, you can't lose them no matter what. And everyone, this is Stanford Clark. Check out his blog at moviespastandpresent.com as well as animationfascination.wordpress.com site for the podcast. And you can pause the video to read his intro, but Kelly's seen this already, so let's get into it. 500 points. The animated 2008 Blue Sky Studios film Horton Hears a Who is based on a children's book written by which author? Is it Dr. Phil, Dr. Fauci, Dr. Seuss, or Dr. Freud?
I have seen this movie once, but my sister and I were actually in a production of Seussical the Musical when we were younger. And nice. I can confidently say it is C. Dr. Seuss.
Nothing's final to say a final answer. Is that your final answer?
Final answer.
So take your time, but I think you know your answer is correct. Congratulations. Funny enough, one other contestant in the past admitted that he also appeared in a production of Seussical. So I guess that's just the go-to musical that you do.
It's a very common one for young, theater people.
I never actually listened to the soundtrack of it or watched. I know they made like a TV movie about it, I think, one time, so I never seen that. But
That's cute.
who did the music and lyrics for Suzuko? Do you know?
Oh God, I don't remember.
I have to look into that, but it seems like an interesting musical to
It is. They
do.
actually, I know you go to Universal sometimes. Over in Seuss Landing, they actually play the opening number as part of their background music.
Okay, no wonder I never recognized it. But that's you knew that was from Dr. Seuss. And this film, have you seen? You said you've seen this film once. I like this film. I do like it because it's one of Blue Sky Studios' best, which is not saying that much, but I do enjoy it. But I think I like they made a animated short in the 70s, and I like that better. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah, I don't remember the Horton one,
Mhm.
but for some reason my middle school was really into the Lorax one.
Okay,
They played it all the time, so that's like burned into my brain.
like fight for the trees or whatever it is. They got that message in your head. No, for me it was the Horton Hears a Who, but the Cat in the Hat. That's the one. Like I watched that like nonstop. The Cat in the Hat short. But anyway,
We got sidetracked.
you're doing amazing. So let's keep going. 1,000 points. Let's check it out. Who is Dumbo's friend and future manager in the animated 1941 Disney Canada film Dumbo? Is it Timothy Q. Lion, Timothy Q. Mouse, Timothy Q. Seal, or Timothy Q. Camel?
It's B, Timothy Q. Mouse. Final answer.
Well, this is Disney, so you must have done this on your blog a long time ago. Your
Yep,
answer is
it
correct.
was a while ago, but the Disney questions are my specialty.
Congratulations, you have 1,000 points no matter what you do. No matter what you do. How did you feel about Dumbo? Is it one of your favorites?
I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites. It does have its issues, but it is very cute. I do like Dumbo himself a lot.
Mm. I enjoy Dumbo too. Because I'm currently, I can't remember if I told you, but I'm currently rewatching the canon because I want to actually make a new ranking to see how I rank them. And I did enjoy Dumbo a lot in this rewatch.
Yeah, it is cute. I've watched it recently as well. I'm rewatching the canon of my sister who has seen a bunch of the movies and mentioned that she wanted to. We're on Great Mouse Detective, so Dumbo was a while ago,
Okay,
but it was fun watching it.
you're catching up with me because I just finished Little Mermaid, so Rescue's Down Under is next. So
And I'm past where I'm at my blog, which is weird.
it's like it's meta there. All right, Kaylee, you're doing amazing. You have all your lifelines. Let's keep going. 2,000 points. Which character from Pixar's animated Toy Story franchise got their own spin off film in 2022? Is it Bo Peep, Mr. Potato Head, Woody, excuse me, or Buzz Lightyear?
I have not seen this movie, but it has gotten a lot of hype. If you read my blog, you know I live in Orlando, so you see a lot of the advertisements for the newer movies. So it is D, Buzz Lightyear.
Final answer.
Final answer.
Well, does being in Orlando help? Your answer is correct. Good job. I'm also in Orlando too, as a lot of people I think you already know. But yeah,
Yes.
I also didn't see Lightyear for I didn't see it yet, but like one reason I'm not super excited about it is because I was a big fan of Buzz Lightyear of Star Command, that direct to video
Yes.
movie, and I
I
feel
always
that
wanted to be Mira as a kid.
yeah, she was cool. I like the robot. I forget his name. XD, XR. I forget his
Something
name.
like that.
Something like that. But like, I feel they just retconned it for this movie. But I mean, I haven't seen the movie, but just based on what I read. But I know I saw Elemental in theaters recently, and I like that a lot. So like, I feel that's one of the Pixar films that I've liked after a while. So
Yeah. I'm always more into the original stories like Elemental, Coco, than like the sequels,
mhm.
with some exceptions. Like, of course, Toy Story 2 and 3 are fantastic. But then
Okay.
you got something like Lightyear, and it's like, okay, this series has been going on a while.
Hey, we got Toy Story 5 coming up in a couple of years. That's really interesting. All right, Kaylee, you did amazing. You have all your lifelines, 5,000 points. What is the name of the Native American chief's daughter in the animated 1953 Disney Canada film Peter Pan? Tiger Lily, Blooming Daisy, Northern Tulip, Pepper Rose.
If you've read my blog, you know how much I love this
He
movie.
loves this one.
It's A, Tiger Lily.
Final answer.
Yes, final answer.
This is Kaylee's #1 favorite animated Disney cat film of all time, Peter Pan.
Can't tell by my face this is sarcasm.
Your answer is correct. Good job. So we know you're not. This ain't your #1 favorite. Did you see Peter Pan and Wendy?
No, I haven't.
I like
Between
that.
the fact that my dislike of the original and the fact that I am opinionated on the live action remakes in general, that's really not high on my list. I'm gonna get to it eventually, and it's not going to be fun.
I don't blame you. It's we have the same opinion on the live action Disney remakes, but I watched that for the blog, and I can't say I didn't enjoy it. It was one of the more enjoyable ones, but again, like you believe, I don't believe these live action remakes need to exist in the first place. But Disney won't listen to us, will they?
No, they're just gonna keep doing it.
They'll just keep doing it until we get live action. Well, I guess we got live action Aristocats coming out soon, directed by Questlove. That should be interesting. Yep. Anyway, Kaylee, doing amazing. 10,000 points. Who voices the title character in the animated 1997 Don Bluth film Anastasia? Alicia Silverstone, Meg Ryan, Julia Roberts, Sandra Bullock.
I don't have a ton of like nostalgia or knowledge of most of Don Bluth's films, but this is the exception. This is the one I watched all the time as a kid. It is B, Meg Ryan, final answer.
Well, it wasn't a Disney question, but hey, it's Don Bluth, and you knew this one.
Close enough. Also,
Close enough.
They own 20th Century Fox now.
Don't remind me. Your answer is good job. It always used to annoy me when people were saying, "Hey, my favorite Disney movie is Anastasia. My favorite Disney princess is Anastasia."
There is a Disney Anastasia, but she's from Cinderella.
That is true, and that's not the one they were talking about. And now they have more of a argument on their side. Well, it's on Disney Plus, so it must be Disney. It's like, yeah.
I saw a pin of the Together in Paris like locket thing at Epcot once, and I was just looking at this like,
who? Okay.
What?
That must have been someone. Yeah, this must have been one of those people.
It's 20th Century Fox, so Disney is owning it.
So they're just selling what they can. But like, I'm not the biggest I'm not the biggest fan of his films. My opinion on him as a person has grown a lot, especially from my young teenage years, but especially after reading he wrote an autobiography recently called Somewhere Out There, which I highly recommend if you're into animation and Don Bluth and just that period of time. It's really, really good. And so my opinion of him as a person is much, much higher and respected. But as his films, I'm not that much into, but this is one of the better ones, I would say. I think my favorite of his is his first, The Secret of Nim.
That one, I think if I've seen it, I've only seen it once because like I have like scattered like glimpses, but I don't know it as well as I know Anastasia.
Anastasia definitely had better songs. The best is Don Bluth songs, which is also not saying much compared to the other films.
There's a reason it's the only one to actually get a Broadway musical, which I have not seen.
Yeah, I've heard some of the soundtrack, but yeah, it's really good. Okay, Kaylee, you're doing amazing. You're 2 away from the next benchmark. You still have all your lifelines. Let's see how far we can get you. 20,000. Which of the following animated Disney canon films takes place in the land of Kumandra? It's Strange World, Big Hero 6, Treasure Planet, Orion the Last Dragon.
This is one of the ones that I haven't gotten to yet on either my blog or watching with my sister because it's a while away. But it's D, Raya and the Last Dragon. Another one that got a lot of play in the parks when it was first coming out. Not so much anymore, though.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Well, these Disney questions right up your alley. Your answer is correct. Yeah, I feel Raya has kind of gotten forgotten, and it's not that old. And like even I kind of forgot about it, that it was a thing. I liked it. I didn't love it, but I liked it. But I kind of forgot it existed.
My thoughts were I would play this as a video game,
Okay.
As a movie, it's got a lot going on and doesn't really blend it as well as it otherwise could, and it's trying to do too much in an hour and a half.
That's how you know Kaylee's like an actual like good film critic and reviewer. She has deep thoughts about stuff. I just say, hey, I like the movie, and I move on. But no, but she's a pro. But no, that makes a lot of sense. That Raya as a video game would probably work a lot better. Um, I don't even. I can't remember. Did the film end on the cliffhanger or something that to like make way for a sequel? It's been a while.
I honestly don't remember.
I just remember there wasn't a villain. Quote, spoiler alert, but I don't think you guys care if you're watching this now. But there wasn't a real villain. But hopefully, Wish, as we've been talking, will change that.
Wish does look like it's going to. Chris Pine's character looks like he's gonna be like an old fashioned, like flamboyant, dramatic Disney villain. And I hope that they keep it that way and don't like do a redemption arc or anything.
I heard, I read on the news recently that they're giving him an actual villain song.
Yes.
So if that's true, I mean, not counting Shiny and Moana, I think this is the first villain song since A Mother Knows Best.
I
Could be
believe
correct.
so.
Mm-hmm.
I would count Shiny because it like other than the fact that Tamatoa is only in the one scene, it feels like an old Disney villain song.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
yeah, other than Shiny, I don't think we've had one in over a decade at this point.
Wow. So Disney, we're hoping the best for Wish. We're wishing the best for Wish. Kaylee, the next one's at 32,000 points. If you get that, you'll have it no matter what. And you'll get the fourth lifeline. So let's see what it is 32,000. In the anime 94, another one, Disney one. In the anime 1940 Disney Canon package for Melody Time, what is Little Toot? Is a Little Toot a toy soldier? A tea kettle? A tugboat? Or a steam whistle?
You thought you were going to trick me with the package film question. It is C, a tugboat. Final answer.
Well, is this correct? Do you get 32,000 points no matter what and get that fourth lifeline? Your answer is correct. Good job. You have 32,000 points no matter what and the double dip.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't make the game specifically catered for whoever is playing. I make the game. So it just worked out in your favor. You got all these.
Yeah.
But yeah, the package films I know most people haven't seen or for good or bad. some of
Yeah.
them some of them are not that
Some parts
memorable.
of them are better than others. I do think this is one of the better shorts in Melody Time, but that's
Yeah,
not saying much.
that's not saying much. I do enjoy it in Melody Time. Is this my favorite one in Melody Time? Maybe I might like it better than Johnny Appleseed stuff. And was
Yeah.
Pecos Bill in Melody Time? Was that Big Band Music?
Pecos Bill was Melody Time.
Okay, I still think this is probably my favorite little toot. But Make My Music, I think I love more that I love the whale one. I love Casey at the Bat, and I love Johnny Fedora and Alice Blue Bonnet.
Johnny Fedora and Alice Bubana is one of my favorite shorts in the entire package film era.
That's one of my favorite Disney songs of all time. Actually, I wish it was more well known.
Same.
Do they play it at
They,
the parks? Do you?
no, they play some other Andrew Sisters songs in the like Tower of Terror area, but I don't think that's one of them.
Okay. Well, Kelly, you do know you have all four lifelines. Can you get to the million? I'm excited. 64,000. Let's go. Which anime studio Ghibli film features Daisy Ridley and Dave Patel in its voice cast for the English dub? One Morning Was There. Only Yesterday. From Up on Poppy Hill. The Cat Returns.
This one, I think I might need a lifeline.
All right. Do you have four to choose from?
Can I do a phone expert, please?
As the expert, yeah. So we're gonna go to Stanford. We'll ask him this. It's your first lifeline of the game. I asked him, and he said, "I'm 100% sure the answer is B. Only Yesterday." I don't know if that's good enough for you, but he's 100% only.
Well, that is more Ghibli than I know. I think I've only actually seen Howl and Spirited Away. So I'm gonna go with Stanford and say B. Only Yesterday. Final answer.
I mean, Howl and Spirited. If you're only going to see two Studio Ghibli films, I think Howl and Spirited Away are the two to see. So you've already got the top. So that's good. Is it Only Yesterday? Your answer is correct. Great job. You have 64,000 points at the moment. This is one of the older Studio Ghibli films, but I think the English dub. This was one that was never dubbed in English until recently, so that's why it has like like Dev Patel and Daisy Ridley. They're more recent celebrities. That's why they're in the English dub rather than someone from like the '90s or 2000s fame.
Yeah.
But yeah, Spirited Away is my favorite Studio Ghibli film, and it's probably one of my favorite films of all time. If I made a list, it would be up there.
It's a good one.
It's a good one.
I
Anime.
am oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just about to say the animation and the story together. Like I'm jealous of the story writing. That's how good it is.
And like the dubs are very rarely as good as the originals, but Spirited Away has a really good dub.
I feel Studio Ghibli dubs, especially the ones done by Disney, actually were done really well compared to like other Japanese films or foreign films in general that have dubs that are probably just given to the lowest bidder studio or something. But I feel
Yeah.
they actually put like effort and like you could tell there's a lot of care in it. So like I've never seen any of the Studio Ghibli films that wasn't a dub. That's how good they are.
Yeah. That's what I've heard is they're some of the best dubs in the foreign film world.
So yeah.
But I have seen very few animated movies that aren't made by Disney, in case you couldn't tell. So
Hey, you've seen all the ones that counted for this game. Horton here's a Who only yesterday and Anastasia. Well, you haven't seen this one, but I mean, you got it right. Okay, you're doing amazing. You're 4 away from the million. You have 3 lifelines. Whew, my heart is pattering. Let's see, 125,000. The animated 1966 Hanna-Barbera special with the alternate title, What's a Nice Kid Like You Doing in a Place Like This, was a modern take on which classic story? Was it The Wizard of Oz, The Secret Garden, Alice in Wonderland, or Anne of Green Gables?
I have actually never heard of this. So
Take your time. You have lifelines.
Judge, I hate to use my other experts so quickly, like back to back, but I think I might have to.
You want to ask Stanford?
Yes.
Okay, using your last expert or phone a friend, and he said, "So sorry, I've never seen or heard of this film either." So he was
Well,
just like you. Hey, well, he one for two ain't bad.
okay. Well,
Use another lifeline if you want.
judging by the title, it's about someone who's in like a place with like weird things happening, which kind of for me narrows it down to Wizard of Oz or Alice in Wonderland. So I'm gonna learn from my mistakes last time where it was between two on a question, didn't go for the lifeline, and lost. So I'm gonna go for the 50-50, please.
Okay, so 50 not the double dip, so we're gonna get rid of two wrong answers. Alice in Wonderland or Anne of Green Gables?
All right. I'm gonna go with C, Alice in Wonderland.
Final answer.
Final answer.
Well, you had no idea about this one. You hadn't heard of it. Stanford also hadn't heard of it. You went with 50-50 and went for your gut. Alice in Wonderland. Is it right? You keep going. If it's wrong, that's the end of the game. Kaylee, your answer is correct. Congratulations. Yeah,
Yay!
it was called Alice in Wonderland or What's a Nice Kid Like You Doing in a Place Like This. It was like a 47-minute like TV special that Hanna Barbera did, kind of updating it for more modern, the '60s back then. So like Alice, like she doesn't fall in a rabbit hole. She falls into her TV, and that takes her to the Wonderland world. It's actually really good. I like it a lot, and it's a musical. So like What's a Nice Kid Like You Doing in a Place Like This is one of the songs sung by the Cheshire Cat, who's voiced by Sammy Davis Jr. So that's like you got to see. I think you have to see this
This sounds
special.
really interesting. Yeah.
It's something to be seen to believe. And like Hedda Hopper, I don't know if you know her. She's one of the like big gossip, Hollywood gossip people of like the '50s and '60s. She voices a character in this. And then there's also the usual Hanna Barbera, characters, Dawes Butler and Mel Blanc, and then like Harvey Korman and Howard Morris. So it's and Janet Waldo, of course, is Alice. So it's a very interesting. Oh, Zsa Zsa Gabor is the Queen of Hearts. So
actually
definitely
amazing casting.
yes. How they got Joshua Gabor and Sammy Davis Jr. I don't know how much money they paid for that, but
Yeah.
it's never been released on like DVD or video or anything, and I think it's because of Sammy Davis Jr. Was singing one of the songs. I think his estate has like high, um, heavy copyright on all his stuff. So, but it's on YouTube, I think, so you can check it out there.
I will have to look into that.
But you use context clues, so you figured it out it was Alice in Wonderland or it was, and it was good enough. So you're three away from the million. You only have one lifeline left, which is the double dip, but maybe that'll be enough. Let's keep going. 250,000. Which of the following is not one of the names of Ariel's sisters in the anime 1989 Academy for Mermaid, which is not? Is it Namella, Andrina, Atina, Arista?
This was my favorite movie when I was little. I very confidently say A, Amela is not one of Ariel's sisters.
Final answer.
Final answer.
You actually think this was easier than the last question? Wow.
I had dolls of all the sisters, like multiple.
Nice. Your answer is correct. Great job. You were the right person to get that. So yeah, it's the here's the lyrics for the Daughters of Triton song. They list all the daughters: Aquata, Andrina, Arista, Tina, Della, Alana. I never saw the sequels, but I guess they're also characters in like the third one.
They do have bigger roles, not really bigger personalities, really. They're all just kind of like girl.
Yeah.
But the TV series that I was obsessed with, they all got distinct personalities and were very interesting characters. That's what all like my toys and stuff were for the
Okay.
series.
Okay, that's cool. The Little Mermaid itself is a movie I didn't grow up with, so I don't have nostalgia for it. So I've probably seen it maybe three times I think in my life. So it's not as high up on my Disney Canon list as others. But I think I think the songs and the music are the what stand out was Howard Ashman and Menken's score and lyrics. I think are the best part of the film for me.
It's one of my favorites. I even cosplay Vanessa Ursula when she turns herself human.
Yeah,
It's one of my favorite cosplays to do.
yeah, and I love Jodie Benson when she voices Vanessa in that scene. Like she does that really well.
You can tell she's having fun getting to play the bad guy.
Exactly. And Pat Carroll as Ursula. I read
Rest in
somewhere
peace.
that they originally wrote the role for B. Arthur. And like I love Pat Carroll as Ursula, but I kind of very interested to know how a B. Arthur Ursula would have been. I think that would be very interesting.
Can she sing?
Yes, because she was on Broadway and stuff. I think she
Oh,
performed with Angela Lansbury in Mame, so she
oh,
can sing.
the more you know.
So that would have been interesting. But anyway, too late now for that. Kaylee, you're two away from the million. I don't think you've gotten this far in your
I don't
previous
think I have
attempts.
either. I
So
didn't make it far at all last time.
I think last time you lost at 32,000, but I think the time before you got to like around here or the 125 or something. But you're only two away from the million. You still have one lifeline. Let's keep going. 500,000 points. Which two animated Studio Ghibli films were the only ones directed by Hiromasa Yonebayashi? Forgive me if I mispronounce that. Pompoko and My Neighbors the Yamadas. The Secret World of Arrietty and When Marnie Was There. Whisper of the Heart and the Cat Returns. Or Ocean Waves and Earwig and the Witch.
Well, hey, remember when I said I have only seen two Ghibli films? And neither of them are on this list.
None of these eight are them.
And I have no life. I have one lifeline left. Um,
So take your time. So you have the double dips. Remember that gives you two chances to answer the question. And there is no round two, so you might as well guess anyway.
okay. I'm gonna go for the double dip and at least give myself two guesses.
Okay, so using last lifeline, so we're lock that in. What's the first guess you want to guess?
My first guess is gonna be B.
Final answer.
Final answer.
Okay, using
I have
double. Go ahead.
no idea.
You have no idea, but you want double dip. B, When Money Was There, and Secret Was Already. You get another chance if this is wrong. Is this correct? Your answer is correct.
Oh my god. My shot in the dark.
You didn't need the lifeline, but hey, it worked. Yeah, this is the only two films for Studio Ghibli that he directed, and then he left. He left the company, I think, and he directed a couple other animated Japanese films. Mary and the Witch's Flower. I don't know if you heard of that, and one more that's escaping me at the moment. But he did these two. Arrietty, I think, was boring, and when Money was there, was okay. So this is not it's not a judgment on him and his directing. It's just story wise, I just couldn't get into it.
Yeah, I pretty much picked it because I've heard of Arietti at least.
There you go. Sometimes you gotta pick the stuff you know. Kaylee, you have no lifelines, but you're going to the 1,000,000 point question. It's so many people have gotten to the 1,000,000 point this season. Will you be the third winner? Whew, in one season. I'm excited. Let's take a breath. Kaylee, 1,000,000 points. You've never seen the 1,000,000 point question before?
Nope.
Here it is. Which American film director was one of the co-writers of the animated 1988 Disney canon film Oliver and Company? So David Fincher, Joel Cohen, Adam McKay, or James Mangold?
I haven't gotten this far yet. If you'd asked me this in next year, I might be able to answer this one. David Fincher sounds familiar. I've done some like vague, basic skimming of the Wikipedia pages to have stuff to tell my sister. This one's coming up for us. We're doing Roger Rabbit next, then Oliver and Company, but close enough. I think it's David Fincher. So I'm gonna go with that and hope for the best.
Your final answer.
Final answer.
All right, you had no lifelines. You go to David Fincher because it rang a bell. If you get this right, you will win the 1,000,000 for the first time you've ever done this, as well as you'll be my third winner this season. And you get that $100 Amazon gift card. You get it wrong, you leave with 32,000. But it was fun having you, Kaylee. Your answer is wrong.
Ah,
I am so sorry. You leave with 32,000. It was James Mangold, actually.
ah.
Yeah.
Like I said, ask me in a couple of months, probably, maybe.
In the corner of your room, there's you from like next year. It came back in time machine. Kaylee, it's James Mangold. Choose the D. It is Mangold, a good director. He directed the recent Indiana Jones, the Dial of Destiny that just came out. He did Ford versus Ferrari and a couple other films. But yeah, I was surprised to know that one of his first jobs was one of the co-writers on Oliver and Company. Oliver and Company is a very interesting cast list in terms of crew, in terms of like the writing and the songs and everything. It's a very interesting.
It is. It's Howard Ashman's first movie.
Mm-hmm.
Even like in terms of the cast list is wild.
It is. It's like you could see the Renaissance would come out of it, but it's like this. It's not a Renaissance film at all. But it's like you could tell they're going somewhere, but you're not sure where they're going.
And it's weird because Great Mouse Detective, which came out before that, it's the one before it on the canon list, feels like a Renaissance movie.
Yes.
And then suddenly you're going back to it feels like a Dark Age movie, and it's like, what's happening?
One thing about Oliver and Company, I'll say, I think it has probably the most overrated song in the canon to me, which is why should I worry, or why should I care, and I think that's a very overrated song. I don't like it at all. But I think it also has two of the most underrated songs in the canon, which is the Howard Ashman Once Upon a Time in New York City, as well as Good Company, which the girl sings to Oliver, her pet.
I'm gonna throw Perfect Isn't Easy into the ring.
That's not a bad song.
I love that song, mostly because it's Bette Midler, and I am a little bit obsessed with Hocus Pocus.
That's probably your favorite live action Disney film, maybe. But anyway.
Throw things.
Is that Bette Midler in your hand with?
Sure is.
That's so cool.
It's one of several of figurines that's sitting right in front of me.
Nice. But yeah, Oliver and Company, it's interesting.
It is.
I think you guys, I like it, but it's I enjoy it, but it's not, top 5.
It suffers from being between Great Mouse Detective and Little Mermaid.
Yes. That's a good way to put it. Kaylee, you played amazingly. I had a wonderful time. I was so excited. You got to the million. I was really
I know.
hoping
And it
you.
was a Disney question.
It was this the one. If you had Stanford, he knew that one, so that would have helped. But you had to use him before.
Nah. That Alice in Wonderland one where he had never heard of it. I was just like,
That's gonna haunt both you and him forever. But it was fun having you on. I hope you had fun, and
it was fun being back.
yeah, I'd love to have you on again in the future if you're so interested. And
Of course.
like I said, there's no round two, so you leave with 32,000 points, and that's the end of the game for you. Is before we leave, is there anything else you want to say? How can people find you?
I don't have a whole lot of social media, but I am on Tumblr. The Great Disney Movie Ride.tumblr.com. That's the Great Disney Movie Ride.tumblr.com. And of course, my blog itself is the Great Disney Movie Ride.home.blog. That is about all I've got other than like my personal Tumblr, which is also linked on the blog Tumblr, but it's Garden of Shadows.tumblr.com. But the O is a C. If you got a bunch of hocus pocus, you're in the right place. That is about all I've got as far as social media, though. I don't really use Twitter or Instagram or any of that stuff.
Yeah,
But
better for you, I would say.
drop a comment on my blog. I love talking to people.
Nice. I'll post a link to that below. For everyone else watching, this is our seventh contestant. We have three more to go. Will one of them be our third millionaire this season, or will we just have fun episodes? Whatever it is, stay tuned. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.